Dianne. Thank you so much for joining us for the 22nd Happiness Happens month. I so appreciate you being here. I know we've been connected for years via the Society of Happy People, and you've probably celebrated many Happiness Happens months with us. So I brought you here because this year we're focusing on happiness is bigger than you think. So we're focusing on the 31 types of happiness, and we're trying to put those in action. So when I was on your radio show, LightHearted Life, I wanted to, I just was listening to a lot of what you said. And I was like, you strike me as somebody who feels blessed. And blessed is a type of happiness. And I even noticed on your wall while we were setting up that you even have grateful, which I think blessed and grateful are kind of kissing cousins, a little bit different, but still kissing cousins. So I asked if you would share a story about a time when you felt blessed and how that makes you feel happy.
Well, first of all, I can't believe it's 22 years of Happiness Happens month. It's gone so quickly, craziness. I will tell you, so I'm a 4-time cancer survivor now. Originally, I was diagnosed 15 years ago with stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and went through 3 fights with that. And then this spring, I got the bonus cancer. I got breast cancer and had a double mastectomy. And through all of that, and all of the treatment and all of the recoveries and surgeries and all the things, I have felt so blessed because at the same time that God brought this journey through illness into my life, he gave me the best gift I could ever wish for. And that's my wonderful husband, Chuck. And I just wanted to share with you a quick story. I had met Chuck in the spring of 2007. Our first date was in April. Both of our long marriages had ended 2 years before, and we met and started dating, and he was pretty great. And he was looking for someone to have fun with in his life and help him finish raising his 2 kids. And as I had lost 2 babies and wasn't able to be a mother myself, I thought that sounded like a pretty good, job description. So things were going great. And then I started getting sick and having all these symptoms. And next thing you know, I'm in the hospital and having biopsies and painful tests and all these things. And he would come to the hospital every night. And we'd only been dating like 3 months. I mean, it was early days. And he came every night. And then the night that we knew that it was stage 4 aggressive blood cancer, they had already started me on chemo. And he walks in and I said to him, okay, so this is what it is, and you're off the hook. You should exit stage right and find someone who's going to be able to make promises about helping you with your kids and who's going to have hair, and nobody will, be mad at you for that. You have every right to leave. And he said, when God gives you a gift, you don't give it back.
Oh gosh.
I know.
Oh, what
and
a
then
blessing.
he said, I know. And then he said, I already know I want to spend the rest of my life with you. So I wasn't prepared to do this here in the hospital, but will you marry me? And if he were here right now, he would share with you that I was on a lot of morphine at the time. And so he wasn't sure I'd remember that, but I did remember that. And in September, we'll celebrate our 14th anniversary. And he's been with me. I know, he's been with me. We've been together, over 15 years now. And it's like God said, I'm going to give you this amazing challenge in this journey through illness. And I'm going to give you this amazing man who will be your partner, your friend, your lover, your husband, and God help him, your nurse. So he literally right now is back to nursing duty because I have some parts of my mastectomy that haven't quite healed. And so he's helping keep them clean and safe. And so when I tell people I'm a 4-time cancer survivor, sometimes they say, oh, I'm sorry. And I say, I'm not. I'm the most blessed person I've ever met. Here I am, still here, still experiencing all that life has to offer, all the beauty, all the struggle, you got to honor that, but experiencing love with my friends and family. And I finally got to be a mom, and maybe someday I'm going to be a grandmother. I mean, I couldn't be more blessed, and I wouldn't change it for the world. Someone once said that, I will be grateful that God brought this cancer into my life. And at the time I said, do they know that you drink on the job? Because you're crazy. And now I realize she's right. I am grateful. It has changed my perspective. It has changed my purpose. It has changed me in ways I can't even enumerate.
No, it's definitely a life-changing journey, and it's and depending on how somebody decides to embrace that, as I call them in my book, Practical Happiness, Happiness Zapper, how
Yep.
they manage it, it really does decide how they change their life, which you lead us into our second question. That's a perfect kind of bridge point, but of course you know that from your radio show. Tell me a little bit about your inspiration for, which is also a type of happiness, by the way, for starting LightHearted Life and writing a book with that same title. And I know you've got another book under your thinking cap right now.
Working on it right now. Well, I will tell you this, when Chuck and I got married, I actually created a sign that's hanging behind me, but you can't see it, called LightHearted Home. And I put the date, it was established 2008, because that's when we got married, because we had talked a lot about how we wanted to live our life. And we know that we want our home to be lighthearted, to be full of fun and full of truth and faith and joy. And we didn't want to allow inside our home, anger and yelling and silent treatment and other things, because that lingers inside your home and stays here. So we agreed we'd have a lighthearted home. And then I just kept thinking about that phrase, lighthearted. And it just hit me that that's what I want for everyone, is to have the opportunity to be lighthearted in life, to take life lightly. And that's not to say that some things aren't heavy or some things aren't serious, because we know that things are heavy and things are serious. But if in our heart we could come out into this world with lightness and being the light and finding the joy and the happiness in the moments. And that's where it all kind of percolated from. And so I started LightHearted Life as sort of a community on Facebook where we could all share the good and the beautiful instead of the ugly and the fighting and everything. And I started my speaking career. And I've always been a speaker, but usually for clients or for my employers. And so this was my opportunity to share my experience and my joy at life. And then next thing you know, people wanted to know, well, are you a coach, or did you write a book, or where can we get more? And so that's where the LightHearted Life book came from, because I wanted to share that with people. And then that's where the LightHearted Life Radio Show came from, where I invite guests who have written books around the topics of happiness or joy or overcoming or just the good stories, the good part of life. I invite them to come, like you, and join me on the radio show and talk about that stuff. And then and now I am a coach, and I work with people on their mindset and being lighthearted and accomplishing big goals that have been set for them, that they set for themselves, or their big purpose. So that's where it all came from.
I love that. So our final question, based on my book, Practical Happiness, the principle number 1 is happiness is personal. Mm-hmm. And we live in this culture that's very groupthink. And it started really when we started texting everybody with our phones. I used to hear that movie folks would know if they were going to have a blockbuster or a bust on Friday night when everybody walked out, and they were texting their friends if you should go see that movie or not. So it's gotten more exaggerated or extreme with social media being part of that mix. We live in this big group think. We also live with a lot of competitive happiness. We see somebody's post, and people like grown adults are interesting. I had a friend once, she's like, my posts aren't getting some likes. And I'm like, yeah, but you're not like a 14-year-old girl. So what do you care?
Right.
like it's not your brand for like you're making money with it. So we live in this really weird world about happiness. And so a lot of times these things are influencing our happiness, what other people think. And like I said, in group think. So I think happiness is personal and we often forget that. So what is one of your happiness is personal? So like it might or might not be your fabulous husbands. It might or might not be your girlfriends or your two kids and their family. But what is something that just, makes you happy?
Okay. Well, there's actually a couple things I'll share. One is sunshine. I am a sunshine girl. I love to get up in the morning and go sit outside and, have, I don't drink coffee, but I'll have, this is my caffeine. And I like to sit outside and just feel that warmth of the sun. So sunshine is a huge thing for me. Another thing though, that I want to share is, clothes. Clothes make me so happy. And I even have in our house, one of the bedrooms is actually my closet or my closet. What?
I said, I love that. I always thought I had a bedroom in my last townhome and I thought about converting it to a closet.
You know what? We totally did it. And I have the racks and because I love how you feel when you put yourself together. And of course, now I'm not in the corporate world anymore. So all the suits and all that stuff went away and all the fun stuff came in. Like, look at this top. Isn't this beautiful? These blues. And so it's so fun to express yourself through your clothing. And then what's really interesting is that you have, bright colors on and a big smile. You end up having all these conversations with people during the day when you're out and about. And I love it. I experienced that so much. All 3 times I've been bald, right, with cancer treatment. And when I'd be out and about, I would end up having these wonderful conversations with people and pray with people. And so I just feel like the way that we express ourselves in public, it has a lot to do with how we feel about ourselves inside and what we generate around us. So, while some people might say, you don't need that many clothes, I say, well, I recognize that, fully recognize that, but I enjoy this many clothes. It's like a, what's it called? What's the word? Chemo brain, a collection. Some people collect inanimate objects. I collect things I can wear on any given day.
Well, yes, it's true. We might not quote need more than 10 pieces or something, because I know I can pack for a trip. I told somebody the other Saturday night at a party, I'm like, I could go to Europe for 2 weeks with one carry-on bag and stick it up. But that doesn't mean that that's all I want in my wardrobe. I mean, right. Like I said, a need, because you just said it. It's how do clothes make you feel? Now, yes. Some people don't need that. Some people are super minimalist and they're like, I like my khaki pants with my white shirt and I don't need anything else. And that makes me super happy. And that's where happiness is personal.
Right?
Yay for them. But I'm already counting down to the Nordy sale. So the Nordy anniversary sale, because I'm like you, like I said, clothes are kind of my mood of the day, or what I'm trying to convey to an audience, or what I'm trying to say on video, or multiple things. So you're a girl after my own heart, and I also noticed your earrings are matching your shirt.
Aren't those fun?
Yes. And did you get them at the same place you got your shirt?
Nope. I found these on Etsy and I bought them thinking, well, those are just so pretty, I must have them. And then the shirt came later. That's what I love. Wow. I know, that's, you put it all together. And then I will tell you this, I can go into that closet of mine, and if you gave me an occasion, I could come out wearing the right thing, except for an audience with the Queen, probably. I don't have the matching hats and everything, but for the most part.
But that would be easy to find. You find out as soon as you land in the UK to go visit.
There you go.
Because I suspect they have an abundance of hats.
They probably do.
It's part of their culture. So thank you so much for sharing. You're happy with us, Dianne. And yes, you do have a blessed life. I was right to ask you to share that story. And I so appreciate you being here and being part of this for, I don't know how many years, but many, many, many years.
Yep.
of celebrating with us. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me.